When analysing sport performance among rugby players at Manchester Metropolitan University, Rob Jones and Dan Pike have found a way to enhance player performance after moving to university while playing at a more advanced level.
So the aim has been basically to produce physically the best rugby player and group that we can with the short time frame that we've got. So in a perfect world, a professional player would, by nature, would have it's their full-time role.
Player Willem Johnson has spent a lot of time in the last year in the strength and conditioning suite after obtaining injuries on the pitch.
So I broke my collarbone playing at Yorkshire training, I think 12 weeks ago now, and it's just been 12 weeks of sort of watching my mates train, watching my mates play, missing the varsity, missing the back end of the season, and I missed the start of the season as well with my broken collarbone as well. And it's just sort of that whole starting to get back to rehab, which is what I'm doing now with the physio here at Man Met. Helen has done a great job just sort of supporting me through that as well, just sort of being there as well, like not just being there for the period of time that I needed her to be there, but she's been there like throughout the season, helping me with rehab right at the start when I broke my collarbone and all the way through, and I think it's just been 2 freak accidents that's ended up with me having
Andreas leads the S&C provision for the rugby, so that would entail all the strength and power and fitness development, going out and delivering warm-ups and speed and change of direction sessions out on the pitch as well. Travels with them on match day to support warm-ups and maybe extra little bits around the injury side of things. We always want to be reliable in that, so very consistent in the way that we test things. So is it the same, if for example on the speed measurements, is it the same distance back from the start line? Making sure the measurements are spot on, making sure the time frame is quite similar. So last time, did we do the same warm-up? Did we do it in the same time point? So they'd had, I don't know, it might be a Wednesday game that was missing. Great, we'll test on the Wednesday then. So I think that's probably the most difficult thing. If you tested on something like a Friday, they've come off the back of a Wednesday game, there's a lot of fatigue there. You're going to get lower scores and poorer scores. So that's always a challenge. I certainly wanted to raise standards, but having said that, we don't have a huge amount of evidence in terms of testing from previous years. Again, within the university term, things can change quite frequently, and the commitment is always good from the players, but with various different injuries and timescales of pressures of games as well, we can't always get good timeframes to be at a test. But having said that, we've still managed to test the lads regularly throughout the year. So our testing protocol is strength development, so we'll do 3 rep maxes in the gym for things like a squat and a bench press and a pull-up. Out on the pitch, we'll do speed, so 10 and 20 metres straight line speed, and then we've done some change of direction and power tests as well, so like jump height, and a pogo exercise, so how quick you can get off the ground and how good your contact time is. For fitness, we do 10 lengths of the field, so a time trial of that. So it's raising those standards to a higher level this year, and then all the pieces around that. So we only have a short time frame with them, so it's trying to make sure that with that small time frame that we've got, they're doing as much as we possibly can to make sure that they are coping with the demands of the game. They can perform well, but the injury risk is quite low as well. So we're trying to make them responsible for their physical development and make sure they do things in their own time and do things to a good quality. But yeah, it's always challenging.
Ultimately, the team at Platt Lane are working on developing players' performance at a professional level. With the additional help from student coaches gathering constant data from games and in training sessions, the results aid the coaching team strategy and training programme to better develop player and team performance.